The Associated Press and GfK have conducted a poll, and it's distressing if what you want to see is any kind of change in Congress, both a change in attitude and a change in leadership. They asked people, which party would you like to see controlling Congress? That was the poll's primary question. And if you're a Democrat, the results weren't terrible. 37% would prefer the Democrats' leadership. So 37% Democrats, 31% for the GOP, and 31% who gives a shit. Kudos to the AP for actually having that as a choice. I think that's amazing, though, that the Republicans tied with, I don't know, I don't care, which is how people answered. Don't care, don't know. So Democrats, 37%, Republicans, 31%, and who gives a shit, 31%. So then we're left with more information that comes out of the poll, and it's equally distressing. This we already know. Approval rating, let's take the next graphic. Approval rating for Congress, 9 out of 10. It's basically 11% disapprove of Congress, and 67%, 2 out of every 3, want their current representative voted out. Well, when you have an approval rating of 11% for Congress and 67% of the American people saying, I am ready for a change and I want my guy out, I want to send Mr. Smith to Washington. Let's go. Let's make a change. Then we get this poll number. It actually comes from earlier in the year from Gallup. 46% approve of their job their representative was doing. And of course, that doesn't mean 54% disapproved. The disapproval percentage was even lower because most people, again, or many people are like, I don't know, who gives a shit? I don't even know who he is, right? So 46% approve. So here's the deal. 67% want to send their representative home, but 46% approve of their representative. What the fuck? I mean, I don't have a PhD in math, but those numbers are messed up. And what it means is the tone of the question. I want the representative to go home, 2/3 saying, I want every representative to go home. But when push comes to shove, they're going to continue to vote for their guy. This has been true for election after election after election. And even in this era where the approval ratings of Congress are at an all-time low, and they are in an era of being all-time low, they may be, if they're at 11% now, they could dip it into single digits and back. We're in an era of below 15%. Everybody hates Congress, but they are not willing to make a change. Now, 37%, as we showed you, Democrats to 31% Republicans. You would think that would give Democrats a really good shot of winning the House back. We don't need to take that many seats back. Now, granted, most races aren't competitive, but we don't need to take that many seats. But here's why it's nearly impossible. This poll number right here. 40% of eligible voters tend to vote in midterm elections. About 40%. Frequently, it's even lower. So you take that stat with this information that we also took from Talking Points memo in a story about this poll. Overall, there is those who care a great deal about party control are evenly split among Democrats and Republicans, meaning that people who are passionate about this, they're split about 50-50 as to who they're going to vote against. So how are Democrats ahead 37-31? They're ahead because of this next little statistic here. People who say it doesn't matter much are nearly twice as likely to be Democrats. We take our lead among people who aren't going to vote. If we lived in a world where the turnout was at 75%, 80%, 85%, there are places in the world where this matters. All over the planet, we saw in the Arab Spring people desperate to vote, eager to vote where their vote actually mattered. We don't have that here. We're apathetic. If 80% of the voters turned out in election after election, Democrats would control everything, and we'd be frustrated with them, but this would be a much more progressive country because they're at the bare minimum. While the establishment would still have money, and there would still be significant, there'd be much more kowtowing of Democrats to Wall Street because they'd be consistently the people in power. Guess what would also have happened? There would be a legitimate, powerful, progressive wing of the Democratic Party, which would win every now and then. But we don't have that. Tuesday was an election day here in America. 45 members of Congress faced primary challenges, both in the House and the Senate. The incumbent won 45 times. Let's take graphic 3 here. That pulls the overall totals up to this, for this election cycle. Overall, 100%, 139 out of 139 House and Senate incumbents have won their primary election. And look at that number on the left. 100% of incumbents win their primary in an era when Congress's approval rating is 11%. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Mr. Smith is not going to Washington now, and he will not be going to Washington anytime soon.